This is our moment.
I'm your host, Corey Phillips.
Time to be great than today.
OFFTOP podcast.
It's a play. Bryant for the lead. Yes!
Time. Did you get the link? Okay, I'm ready. Make sure my phone's off or silent. Are we on?
Yep.
Oh, damn. My bad. Sending text messages. See? They get caught up. Yeah, new lady friend watching the show. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the soon-to-be greatest podcast of all time, the OFFTOP podcast. I'm your host, Corey Phillips here. Episode 32? 34? No way. Really? All right, so episode 34 coming at you live. It is Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. I hope you guys, I know we've been gone for like a week or so. 4th of July weekend. I hope everybody had a good 4th. I had an amazing 4th. We got Carson on the cameras.
What's up?
Lance on the 1s and 2s. What's going on, fellas? How's everybody's 4th? Good? You were in Cali. How was your 4th? It was good? Yeah, 4th of July was interesting. It was fun. Spent too much money, but had some good food.
Too much to drink.
A little too much to drink, you know what I'm saying? Weather was nice, so had a good time. But a lot's happened. We're going to get to it all. Well, we're going to try to get to it all. But a lot's happened since the last show. We're going to, later on in the show, we got the segment on our preview of the NFL schedule. We're doing the San Francisco 49ers today. That's later on. I want to get into some Pac-12 football. If you haven't heard, if you've been living under a rock, I think Carson's been living under, or just playing in the Sunshine Cali. We're going to talk about the defections of USC and UCLA to the Big Ten. It's been a huge story since last Thursday. Got some MLB stuff to get into. A little bit of NBA, like what's the situation with Kevin Durant? We got Summer League going on. Summer League's been hot. Seeing some of the rookies and stuff like that. Some moves in the NBA. Some contract negotiations. A new story today. We'll get into that. But I want to start off with the Mariners. And I was looking forward to watching some Mariners baseball today. After the day off yesterday, Mariners on a 6-game winning streak. They are officially 2 games over 500. Wait. I think they're 3 games over 500. 3 games over 500. And if the playoffs started today, now I know they don't start today, but if the playoffs started today, the Mariners would hold the 3rd and final wild card spot. Unbelievable. 2 weeks ago from the last show, I was shitting on these guys. You know what I'm saying? I was like, they're playing horrible, suspensions left and right. What's going on? And now the Mariners are 3 games over 500. What a difference a week and a half would make. But tonight this is the final road trip before the All-Star break, as we know. The All-Star rosters have been named. The All-Star game is next weekend from Los Angeles, from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. But this is the last road trip before the All-Star break. And I did say, and I remember this vividly, I was like, if the Mariners can at least be at 500 by the All-Star break, I think they have a shot. I remember saying that. And right now they're exceeding my expectations because they're playing. I mean, we just came off a 4-game sweep of the Toronto Blue Jays, which we have never done in the franchise's history. I went to the game on Friday night. The 2-run or 3-run home run by Eugenio Suarez in the 11th inning to win the game. I mean, if you went to any of these games this past weekend, it was a playoff atmosphere in that stadium. I mean, when I went, they announced it. We had over 33,000 people at the game on Friday night. Each day, there was over 30,000 people. Now, they were mostly Toronto Blue Jays fans. Let's not get it twisted. The Blue Jays fans come out when they play the Mariners every year. And that's one of my favorite series to go to because it's crazy. But good pitching. The bats came alive. The Mariners on a 6-game winning streak. Beat Toronto the last 4. They took, and then the 2 against Oakland. And now they have a game. They have a 2-game, little short 2-game. Well, no, it's not Oakland. The 2-game sweep of San Diego. Sorry. They got a 2-game stretch against the Washington Nationals, and then they got 4 against the Texas Rangers, and then they're on the All-Star break. But today's game, due to inclement weather, and it was like puddles and puddles of water throughout the whole field, so they canceled it. So tomorrow, they are having a doubleheader, a 2-game doubleheader. They're gonna have a doubleheader. The first game is gonna be at, I believe, 12 o'clock Eastern, so it'd be 9 on the West Coast. And so that game will be early in the morning, and then the nightcap will be around 4 o'clock. Yeah, I just looked it up. 9 a.m. is the first game, and then the second game will be at 3 o'clock. So, and I mean, they might stretch that out if it goes extras or something like that. But I mean, 9 a.m. and then a 3 p.m. start. Quite a bit of baseball in the day. When the Mariners played, I mean, earlier in the month or last month when they played the Angels when they were here in town, they had a 1 o'clock and a 7 o'clock. Sorry, no, it was a 12 o'clock and a 7 o'clock, a doubleheader. So not a lot of time, 7 hours. You know, you get
like 2 hours off, 3 hours off. Maybe.
Yeah, because a baseball game will last about 3 hours. So if it's a 12 o'clock start, it'll be over around 3:30. Then you get like a couple hours break, and you're back on to warm up, and then you go again at 7. That's a lot of baseball, man. So luckily for the Mariners, they got some guys back from suspension. J.P. Crawford's back. Julio Rodriguez only got suspended 1 game, and then Jesse Winker will be back tomorrow because his 6-game suspension is over. So, and then Mitch Haniger scheduled to be back at the end of the month. Kyle Lewis, they're both down in AAA right now. They're scheduled to be up with the baseball team by the end of this month, so basically after the All-Star break. And the addition of Carlos Santana has been huge. I mean, he had 3 home runs in 2 games on Saturday and Sunday, so it's been huge. The offense has been great. I'm super excited, and the town is excited. You can feel it. Like, I'm excited. The town's excited. I mean, you should have felt the vibe at T-Mobile Park over the weekend. It was crazy. So hopefully you keep this winning streak going. Cliff Flexen's going to pitch tomorrow for the Mariners. He's 5-8 with a 4.0 ERA. Let's see if we can shred into this lead a little bit because we're in second place in the West. We're trailing Houston by 12 games, which seems insurmountable, but I mean, because Houston's playing lights out baseball, it's just no way around it. But I don't care about that. I don't want to win a division. I mean, it'd be nice. I just want to get into the playoffs, period. By any means necessary. If it's a wild card, so be it. So Mariners, unfortunately, got canceled tonight, but they'll be playing a doubleheader tomorrow. They're hot. But the All-Star game is coming up in about next Sunday? Wait, next Saturday? Anyway, sorry. Yeah, next the home run derby is Monday, the 18th, which, by the way, Albert Pujols is going to be participating. They announced today. Albert Pujols will be participating because it's his last season. He's going to be participating in the home run derby. The All-Star game is Tuesday, July 19th, so basically a week from today. So we'll tune into that. But the All-Star rosters have been named. The game starters, like the starters for the American League, Catcher will be Alejandro Kirk from the Toronto Blue Jays. First base will be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from the Toronto Blue Jays. Second base, Jose Altuve. He's having an awesome season from the Houston Astros. Shortstop, Tim Anderson. That was a no-brainer from the Chicago White Sox. Rafael Devers from the Boston Red Sox. Third base. Your outfield, no-brainers here. Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Giancarlo Stanton. That's a no-brainer. And then at DH, of course, is Shohei Ohtani from the Anaheim Angels. In the National League, you got Wilson Contreras from the Chicago Cubs, which I thought that was interesting. Bryce Harper, who is injured, got voted in, but due to his injury. So William Contreras, from Wilson's brother from the Atlanta Braves, will be taking his place at DH. First base, no-brainer, Paul Goldschmidt from the St. Louis Cardinals, my boy. Chaz Chisholm Jr. from the Miami Dolphins will be at shortstop, or Miami Marlins. I said Dolphins, but it's the Marlins. Sorry. Shortstop. That was a mistake. Trey Turner from the LA Dodgers. He'll be at shortstop. Third base, Manny Machado from the San Diego Padres. Your outfield, Mookie Betts, Ronald Acuna, and Jock Peterson. And like I said, William Contreras will be batting at DH. Those are your starters, okay? Now, the reserves are going to get changed here because guys are hurt, guys are injured. So the only Mariner that made it is the young phenom outfielder from the Seattle Mariners, Julio Rodriguez. And I am super happy that he made it in, but I'll be damned if it hurts me to say this, but there's a couple snubs on the Mariners. Logan Gilbert. Now, I know the pitching pool has been deep, but Logan Gilbert he's had a hell of a season this year. He should have been in, number one. And number two, definitely I thought should have been in, is Ty France at first base. Now, Ty France has been injured for the last month, and in the month of June, he was batting like 220. So I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, man, are you kidding me? He's still hitting over 320, even when he was hurt, and he's been top 3 in batting average all season long. So I was a little bit disappointed about that, but there's still a chance he can get in because there's going to be players that are going to be hurt for both Logan Gilbert and Ty France. There's going to be players that are going to be hurt or can't play, and he'll get in as a reserve. I'm pretty positive about that. On the pitching side, if they had pitched in the last 2 or 3 days before the All-Star game and they're named to the All-Star game, they're not going to pitch. They're gonna rest their arm for the regular season. So that's when Logan Gilbert can probably get picked up there. So we'll see. But overall, you can't really go wrong with any of the picks, be honest with you. Any of the rosters. I just think that there should have been a couple more Mariners represented on there. So, but we'll see. But we're coming close to the midway point of the season. And the other question I have is, are the Mariners going to make a move? The trade deadline's on the 28th. A couple weeks away. What are the Mariners going to do? I'm telling you right now, I think the Mariners need a power bat in their lineup, one more, to push us over the top. I just honestly feel that way. Now, Adam Frazier has been a little bit of a disappointment. Jesse Winker has been a little disappointment, but in the last month and a half, Jesse Winker was hot until he got suspended. So I think we need somebody else at second base because I'm done with Abraham Toro. We got to get somebody else in there. And I think we need a power bat in the lineup. And there's a couple guys that are going to be available for teams that are sellers during the trade deadline because we're in it. We're in the mix. We're in the hunt for the wild card time. I'm telling you right now. So super exciting there. We got All-Star Game, Home Run Derby is kind of one of my favorite events. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Other news today, Baker Mayfield spoke out. after the trade a couple days ago from the Cleveland Browns to the Carolina Panthers. So there seems to be a legit quarterback competition between the two, him and Sam Darnold. And then, of course, the rumor mill runs rampant today once that news broke. Oh, is Sam Darnold available for the Seahawks? I would rather have Baker Mayfield. It's the same. Whoever's cheaper. How about that? I'm not dogging on Baker Mayfield. I just don't think he fits the offense for the Hawks. Maybe he'll be better with Carolina. He's a system quarterback. We need somebody better. So I think you just let it ride. You go with either Drew Lock or Geno Smith, whoever, and get yourself one of those high-profile quarterbacks in the draft next year. Because I'm telling you right now, this season, my prediction was, 7 or 8 wins? Yeah. Did I say 6? Yeah. Was it 6? See, that's even worse. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like it doesn't do us any benefit to go out and get one of these guys. I mean, now I did see something that I was reading up on. It was like, does Jimmy Garoppolo have a shot to come here? Jimmy Garoppolo? That's a whole show right there. I can go all day on that.
You don't want Jimmy G.
I don't either. I don't want him. I mean, but it doesn't suit. I mean, for the 49ers right now, it doesn't make sense because all I've heard since minicamp is how bad Trey Lance has looked. Now, my friend, you know what I'm talking about, was trying to defend him, and big shout out to Josh. You're a huge 49ers fan, I get it, but he's trying. Yeah, that was just rumors and stuff. What if it's not? Then what? That's the guy you want to go with. If you guys are going to go with an unproven quarterback who we barely seen last year, then you guys are stuck in the mud. There's no way you guys are winning. So, but I think he might fit with the Hawks. I mean, he would be a definite upgrade compared to Geno Smith or Drew Lock. Are we in agreement on that?
Yes.
Okay.
I just don't think.
I don't like Jimmy G either. I don't.
San Francisco would trade within their division to give up.
That's another aspect of it because it's rare that you see a team trade within their division. Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen very often. But depending on the price tag and what you get back in return, unless the 49ers just do a complete cut, because they got a dump salary, it's almost a certainty they're either going to cut him or trade him. But they can't really trade a guy who's injured. He'll be back healthy here like shortly before he's supposed to be healthy before training camp. So it would behoove the Seahawks if he gets cut. What do you have to lose? I mean, you sign him on, and you have a 3-way competition between Garoppolo, Locke, and Smith. But I already know if that were to happen, I already know who's going to be the best fit. But apparently, the Seahawks are in love with Drew Lock. Love him. Which I don't get it. You know, Pete Carroll thinks he's like this quarterback guru, which, hey, I give him credit for it. I mean, the Russell Wilson thing came out of nowhere because we had Matt Flynn. We paid him a bunch of money, and we got him from Green Bay to bring him in. I had his jersey. I still got it. And he didn't even start a game. He started a couple preseason games. It was a wrap. It was Russell Wilson from then on. So, yeah, we're not going to get into that. So I still have the Matt Flynn jersey, by the way. Big shout out to Matt Flynn. You got cheated on. It was unfair. But, so yeah, a lot of question marks. And we still got time, but training camp's coming close. Training camp's at the end of this month. Moves will be made. I mean, I knew that Baker Mayfield was going somewhere. I said Carolina would have been my third choice. I was thinking either Seattle or I thought it was either Seattle or San Francisco or Carolina. Those were my 3 teams I thought he was going to go to. But I thought Carolina was at the bottom of that list. So I was thinking either San Francisco or because I was thinking San Francisco just due to the fact that the money is similar on what they're going to be making. So you can do a trade, and Jimmy Garoppolo goes on to a better team, healthy, and then he has a year to prove what he can do. We did the same situation in Seattle. He's just not going to get that type of money. Seattle would wait to cut him and then sign him for a cheaper rate for like $6 or $7 million, and have him earn his money for a new contract. That was the scenario I'm thinking, and that can still happen. So. In other news, like, what is going on with Kevin Durant? Now, my stance on this is like I thought KD and Kyrie are going to be gone, and I still think, for heaven's sake, I can't believe I'm saying this. I still think Kyrie's coming to the Lakers. Unfortunately, at my behest, I do not want Kyrie on this team. I don't know if he's going to play. Him and LeBron still they had issues before he left. That was the reason why Kyrie left Cleveland. And they didn't need him because they went back to another couple of finals after that. But now you're hearing LeBron wants to play with him from a basketball standpoint. He's good. He would like him on his team again, yada, yada, yada. Is he going to play? Is he going to listen? Is he reliable? From everything I've seen, this guy's not reliable. But yet and still, I would rather have him on my team. I'd rather have him on my team than Russell. We were paying that man too much damn money for him to be playing horrible like this, and you throw your coach under the bus after the end of the season. Come on, bro. And LeBron James has got to take some culpability on this because this was his fault. LeBron James wanted Russell Westbrook on the Lakers. Did he not? He asked for it. But now I start to think, due to the fact that the Rudy Gobert trade kind of set the market for everything else, that was it. The Rudy Gobert trade, which was a surprise to everybody when he went to Minnesota during free agency, and what the Utah Jazz got in return for Rudy Gobert, they got a king's ransom. There is no team that's going to... What the Nets want in return for KD is unrealistic. Nobody's got that type of capital. You would have to give up the farm to get KD on your team. Now, KD wants to go to Phoenix. We get it. Or Miami. He wants to go to a mid-market team. So Phoenix is at the top of his list. DeAndre Ayton is sure as hell he's gone. He's done with Phoenix. He's going to be out of there. He wants to either go to Phoenix or Miami. You would have to give up. If he went to Phoenix would have to give up. I'm talking. I mean, just look at the Phoenix roster and just the top 3 players plus draft picks. I mean, seriously. I mean, when you look at the Phoenix Suns, I mean, you got an aging Chris Paul, so you won't want that, right? The Pacers are talking about making a move for DeAndre Ayton, so he's gone. So Devin Booker, right? Which, if you're on the Phoenix side, you're like, okay, what do you... Like, Devin Booker is an all-star. He is a high-caliber NBA player. What else are you going to get? Abayu? Devin Booker? Jay Crowder? You got Cameron Johnson? They got a squad. Cameron Payne's pretty good. Alfred Payton's really good. But they still don't have enough in terms of what the Nets want. The Lakers and the Nets are going to make a deal. The Lakers want Seth Curry in return as well for Kyrie Irving. The Lakers are going to have to give up some draft picks and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see, but it's sad that we have to go through this again. I love Kyrie. He brought a championship to Cleveland. I was rooting for them in 2016. I was You have no idea. I was working at Pyramid at the time. I was hyped, and I was surrounded by Warriors fans all over the place. I'm like, you are disrespecting LeBron James. And what did he do? He won a championship there. But those guys can't get. I don't know if they can get along through a whole season. And then there's the Anthony Davis factor. Talking about he hadn't picked up a basketball since April. What are you doing, bro? The season starts in a few months. You better get in shape. And I question whether Anthony Davis or not is even motivated to play basketball. He got his chip. He's getting his money. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So, all that being said, there's a lot of things that are still at the table. And in today's news of Donovan Mitchell is now the Jazz are listening for offers for Donovan Mitchell. That's who the Lakers should go after. Donovan Mitchell, man. He is a top tier guard in this league. Just saying. So a lot of NBA stuff going on right now. But this is the topic I wanted to highlight. And we're going to switch over to college football for a second. And if you haven't heard, the UCLA Bruins and the USC Trojans are now going to the Big Ten. Which for some people, Carson, cameraman, didn't know.
I was on vacation mode.
He was on vacation in California, but it's like the biggest news to ever happen in a while. But yeah. So some secret meetings happened. So last Thursday, a deal was struck with the Big Ten, or the Big Ten, to add the Pac-12 to starting schools. One of the two original schools of the Pac-8 years ago, or the Pac-10. UCLA, USC, and they're going to the Big Ten. So now, what does that leave the Pac-12? Your two biggest schools now, or your two most profile schools, are literally the Oregon Ducks and the Washington Huskies. You can make the argument of some other schools. But those, I mean, I'm based on sports, all the sports, not just football, all the sports and academics, in the market they're in. Now, you would think it would be Stanford or Cal, you know what I mean? But let's face it, when a Stanford has a football game, half the people don't even show up until like the second quarter, third. And the success of the Huskies, I mean, the Oregon Ducks are a big program.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree on Oregon.
Oregon's a huge program.
I mean, that's what they're built around. Nike.
So now what is the Pac-12 deal? Well, I have some theories on it. I think there's a couple ways you can go about it. Now, am I confident in any of these that I'm about to say? Hell no. But there's a lot of things up in the air right now. So like the SEC is the power conference in college football. I mean, if we're just talking college football, or it just in sports in general, but in particular college football, the SEC is the dominant. But the Big Ten is making a run at it by adding two of the biggest schools in the Pac-12 into the Big Ten, which is a huge deal. But now there's a lot of factors. What does Notre Dame do? Number one, still an independent. I don't think they're going to the Pac-12. I think now you can look at it a different way. Now, I was talking about it with a friend yesterday. Two ways this could work out. the Pac-12. This is option 1. The Pac-12 absorbs with the ACC to make one super conference.
Okay.
But then most of the ACC is on the East Coast, so there's travel to think about there. Or
look at the Big Ten though, and look at the 2 Cali schools.
right. So there's travel. That leads me to that other thing. This is not over. They're saying a couple. This is what I was talking about. There is a chance that the University of Washington and University of Oregon could defect and go to the Big Ten, which the Pac-12 is trying not to do. That's why they're trying to work their new TV deal right now to bring some more revenue in. But they're saying, worst case scenario, there could be 4 more schools that goes over there and that literally kills the Pac-12. We're talking Oregon, Washington, and then for sure, and then if another 4 teams were going to defect to the Pac-12 from the Pac-12, Oregon and Washington are the 2. Those are your 2 highest profile teams in the Pac-12 right now. And then you mix it, and then it would either be one of these other 2 teams, or 2 of these other teams, either Stanford, Cal, Oregon State, or Washington State.
What about Arizona State?
No. Too bad. Arizona State is under NCAA investigation right now. They're not touching that with a 10-foot pole, and Arizona is just a bad program. They haven't been good for a long time. And as far as football goes, you flip it to basketball, it's completely opposite. Arizona is a powerhouse on a basketball program. So my idea, and this is kind of like my weekly off the rip kind of dream world scenario, would be the Pac-12 absorbs 2 other teams from an outside conference, namely the Mountain West. Boise State. That's a huge up-and-coming market. Chris Peterson coached there before he came to Washington. They play in the Pac-12 consistently over the last 5 to 10 years. The other school I'm thinking about is San Diego State. Another up-and-coming big market. The other school I'm thinking about will be Fresno State. But the Pac-12, the problem is right now you need a presence in Southern Cal. That's why the other school I was thinking about is Hawaii. New stadium, good football program. They're still on the West Coast, but you need a presence in Southern Cali. Losing USC was huge. UCLA, don't get me wrong, losing UCLA is huge. It's a big deal. Because they're good on both ends of the spectrum, because they are a good football program, and on top of that, their basketball program is top notch. They won so many NCAA championships, it's ridiculous.
They're pretty good at baseball.
Baseball too. So and then from an academic standpoint, they're one of the best. But then you lose that Southern California connection by losing SC. That's a big deal. You got to reestablish something, and San Diego State will be that school. So you might have to do some shuffling around. One of my friends would say, well, if you do that, absorb 4 of those teams, who do you kick out? He said Colorado. Okay, we can afford to lose Colorado. He said Utah, which I disagree with 100%. Utah is a good program on the basketball and especially on the football side. Ever since they came into the Pac-12, I wouldn't want to lose Utah. Now, if you came to me and was like, "Hey Corey, if the Pac-12 had a chance to add Boise State, San Diego State, Fresno State, and Hawaii, and we lose Colorado or Utah, would I do it? Probably. I don't like the fact that I use Utah, but at the same time, you keep the conference alive. You still have a presence in Southern Cal. You're getting 4 pretty good schools. I would be more excited about Boise State than anything, because Boise State they run the Mountain West. So You could move Utah back to the Mountain West. It's like a trade kind of thing. But right. But it does. But this is all going to shape up to be what is. I know Colorado's committed to the Pac-12, and I know they're and right now they are discussing a loose partnership with the ACC because the ACC, let's call a spade of spades here. They're not very good, but they do have some top-notch schools in like Florida, Florida State. You know what I mean? There's some other schools in there, but it's really going to come down to what Notre Dame is going to do. It's really going to come down to it. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But when this knows, I mean, you essentially killed your. I mean, the Rose Bowl's on life support. Let's put it that way. The Rose Bowl is played by the winner of the Pac-12, right, and the Big Ten. So, it was disappointing to hear that. I was shocked, but I mean, it was news that just came out of nowhere. But SMU has had conversations with the ACC and the Big 12 and the Pac-12. You can combo all three of those and just get one superpower conference against the Big 10 and the SEC. Now what? You can even make, if you combo even two of those leagues, you can make your own tournament. Have the games at the Rose Bowl or have it in Vegas. Who knows? But it's this thing is crazy. You see how college football is? Absolutely nuts. So we continue to follow this story as we get more news. But that was the big breaking story. But I mean, how do I personally feel about it? Man, I mean, I've been a Pac-12 guy for years, man. You already know. If you know me, you know I'm a UW fan all day, every day. It's UW. And Carson, I don't know. You're a.
Arizona State.
He's Arizona State. He's from Cali.
So no, I'm from Arizona.
Well, he's from Arizona, but you lived in Cali forever.
Yeah.
Damn it. Arizona State.
Throw all my family.
I got you. So that's big news out of college football. We will continue to monitor that story. Now we get to the segment that everybody's been waiting on. NFL preview. Week number, well, we won't say week. This is team number. So far in this segment, we have previewed. We did the Cowboys first. We did the Seahawks after that. Right? Yeah, we did the Seahawks after that. Then we did the Rams. Right? Then we did the Cincinnati Bengals. And we did the Kansas City Chiefs. This week, we are doing the San Francisco 49ers. Now, remember, the San Francisco 49ers lost in the NFC Championship game to the LA Rams. So, what's the state of the San Francisco 49ers? Now, I'm going to go into this preview schedule under the assumption that Jimmy Garoppolo will be the starter. Until further notice, we have the right to change because we don't know who the starter is going to be. It could be Trey Lance, and that would completely change things. But we're going to go into this based on who was the starter at the end of the season last year, and that was Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay? So, San Francisco 49ers, who were in the NFC Championship game. So how would they fare? Can it get back to it? They didn't really lose a ton of people. They did lose Raheem Mostert, which was a big loss for them. Debo decided to stay, so Debo is still on the team. But they didn't really make any upgrades, but they didn't really lose anybody either. So they're kind of the same squad. I mean, you know what you're going to get. They're a top 3 defense in the league. They're in the NFC West. If Jimmy Garoppolo is playing, for some reason they keep winning, and I don't understand it. And I still try to find it hard to understand it. But in any case, we're gonna preview it anyway. So, week 1, 9-11, on the road at the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are a mess right now. So I'm going to give the win to the 49ers. That makes them 1-0. Week number 2, at home against the Seahawks. Did I say the Seahawks were going to win that game?
I know they split, but I can't remember.
I think I have the Seahawks winning at home.
Yeah.
So 2-0. Week 3, on the road, Sunday Night Football against the Denver Broncos. And I think I had the Broncos winning that game. So that would put the 49ers at 2-1. Week 4, the next week on Monday Night Football, at home against the LA Rams. I know I had the Rams winning that one. So that puts the 49ers at 2-2. Week number 5, on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Carolina Panthers just got Baker Mayfield. We don't know who the starter is going to be. If I were to guess, it'll probably be Baker Mayfield. Still not going to be enough to beat him. So, I'm going to give the 49ers a win on that one. That makes them 3-2. Following week, on the road, back-to-back road games, on the road against the Atlanta Falcons. Excuse me. I'm going to give the 49ers a win on that one. Now, again, this is based on Jimmy G as your starting quarterback. So that puts them at 4-2. Next week, at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think I had the Chiefs winning that game. So that puts the 49ers at 4-3. Mm-hmm. Then October 30th, on the road against the LA Rams. And I think I had the 49ers winning that game. I think I had the Rams losing that game. So that puts, if I'm going to give the 49ers a win on that one, that puts the 49ers at 5-3. Next week, Sunday Night Football, another primetime game at home against the LA Chargers. Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to give the Chargers the win on that. So that puts the 49ers at 5-4. Going into the following week, which will be on, I believe that's Thanksgiving week. I think that's one of the Thanksgiving games. On the road against the Arizona Cardinals. Woo!
They also had their bye before the Chargers.
Yeah, they have a bye after the Rams game. Yeah, they have a bye against the Rams. I still think they're going to lose against the Chargers. Mm-hmm. And then on the road at Arizona. So I have them at 5-4 right now. Yes. 5-4 on the road at Arizona. Kyler Murray. On paper, if the Arizona Cardinals are healthy, Arizona Cardinals will beat them. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go with the loss for the 49ers. That puts them at 5-5. Mm-hmm. Then in the following week, at home against the New Orleans Saints. Saints don't really play well in the dome, outside the dome. I'm gonna give the win for that one, so there'll be a 6-5. Following week, at home against they have 3 straight home games. At home against the Miami Dolphins.
How's Tua gonna be doing?
That's a tough one. That's a pick'em game, dude. If there were betting odds, it'd probably be even. My initial reaction is they get the win against the Dolphins. So that puts them at 7-5. Mm-hmm. Then their 3rd straight home game is at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to give Tampa the win on that one. So that puts them at 7-6. On the road, Sunday Night Football against the Seahawks. So did I have them winning the first Seahawks game? They were at home? Yes, I did. So I will have them lose that one on the road. 7-7. Then the next week, day before Christmas Eve, at home against the Washington Commanders. Commanders are not very good. I'll give the 49ers a win on that one. Then New Year's Day, on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, that's going to be an L. So I'll give the loss to them on that one. That puts them at what? 8-8, and then they finish at home against the Arizona Cardinals. I'm gonna give them the split. I'll give the 49ers a win on that one. So that puts them at 9-8. 9-8. It's gonna be very tight division race because I think I have the Rams winning only 10 games.
So, second, third place, depending on how the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals. I haven't previewed the Cardinals yet. Depending on the Cardinals, dude. So, if we're going off based on what I've been predicting, the Rams will be at 10-7. And the Niners will be 9-8, which would be enough to win the division. But
Seattle's 6 and.
I got them at 6-11.
Was it that bad? I think you gave him 7.
Lance said I gave him 6. Are you sure about that? Was it? He's pretty confident it was 6. So that puts them. That's almost the whole NFC West, and we haven't previewed the Arizona Cardinals yet. So interesting. So. That would put 49ers still in third or second in the West. Would that be enough to get a wild card spot? Possibly. Because how many wins did I give the Cowboys?
9 or 10.
I think I gave them 9.
I think 9.
Yeah, I gave them 9. We'll see. So, next week, who are we going to preview next week?
Buffalo?
Yeah. Next week, we will preview the Buffalo Bills. The last time we saw them, they lost in overtime to the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round. And probably what they call one of the best football games they've ever watched. So, next week, we'll do the Buffalo Bills. We've run down basically both Super Bowl opponents. We did the Cowboys first because I just wanted to put them on blast first. We did the defending Super Bowl champs with the Rams, the defending AFC champions with the Cincinnati Bengals. We did Dallas, right? We did Seattle, even though Seattle didn't make the playoffs. But
KC, did we do Denver?
No, we haven't done Denver yet. No. Yeah, we'll get Zach on for Denver, but in the meantime, did we do Denver?
I feel like we did.
I have to look at the patch. No, we haven't done Denver. I have to look at the patch show. I don't think we've done Denver. I mean, we kind of talked about it, but I haven't really drove in depth to it. I would remember that because they got a murderer's row of a schedule, dude. The fact that Denver has to play KC twice. They got to play the Raiders twice, and they got to play the Chargers twice. And they're not playing a first place schedule, but the AFC is loaded. But we'll get into that. But next week, we're going to preview the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills made some moves in the offseason. Obviously, they've gotten deeper at tight end. They got Von Miller was a huge pickup. And Josh Allen had a career year last year. Are they going to be able to just make that next step and get to the AFC Championship game? I think they just ran into a better team in Kansas City, and there was mistakes on the defensive end that cost them the game. Because at all accounts, Buffalo should have won that game last year, and they blew it. So we'll see if they can get back to it, but we'll preview Buffalo next week. And then, finally, before we sign off, I went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder last weekend. Good movie. Very good movie. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's doing great at the box office. I think over the first weekend, it made over $125 million domestically. It's gotten a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty good. It was good to see Natalie Portman. Christian Bale did really good. It was funny. It was entertaining. I kept engaged. I wish we would have seen a little bit more Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's either here or there. But you know me. Once a movie comes out especially a Marvel movie that I'm into, I'm all in. If you decide to see the movie, there is two post-credit scenes. So don't leave early. There's 2 post-credit scenes that are gonna open up some stuff for future movies. I'm not trying to, no spoilers or anything like that. Spoiler alert. But Thor: Love and Thunder was an excellent movie. I enjoyed it. It was awesome. So the next movies on my list that I want to see this month, Nope comes out this month. If you don't know about that, it's a key Jordan Peele movie. If you've seen Get Out, or what was the other one he did? Us. It's got that same vibe, but it looks a lot more scarier and intriguing. So Nope comes out on the 22nd. I'm super excited for that. There are some other movies that I was looking at that I wanted to go see. But anybody saw Elvis? I think I talked about that in the last show. Elvis was amazing. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But coming soon that I have on my list is Nope, and they showed a preview for what was it, Amsterdam, which has got a star-studded cast, which I'm super excited for. That's not coming out for a while. Bullet Train comes out on August 5th, which I've been reading some really good reviews on that, so I'm really excited to see that movie. I saw a trailer for Beast when I saw Thor. That looks pretty intriguing. I'll probably go see that.
Trailer for 2,000 Feet.
2,000 Feet? No, I haven't seen that trailer yet.
It's like a 47 meter. It's by the same people who did 47 meters down.
47 meters down was pretty good.
But they're up in like.
They're up, yeah. So I saw a movie poster on that. When does that come out?
I want to say August 1st.
Is that going to streaming or is it going to theaters?
Theaters.
Okay. That'll be interesting. I want to see that definitely. Clerks 3. I saw a trailer for Clerks 3 that comes out in September. Haven't seen the first two. I'm super excited for that. And then later on, October, they got the Halloween Ends movie, another Michael Myers movie. I'm super excited for that. Black Adam. They showed a preview for that. Black Adam comes out on the 21st. Amsterdam comes out on November 4th. Black Panther is supposed to be coming out in November. Wakanda Forever, so I'm interested to see that. Creed 3 comes out in November. And then, of course, the big one, Avatar. I can't wait. Avatar is coming out. But so it's long overdue. And, you know, it's funny because what's his face? Who's directing Avatar? James Cameron? He came out and said, I don't want to hear no bitching about the movie time. And I was like, who's bitching about the movie time? I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, did you not see the first one? That movie's 3 hours long. So, if you've seen the first one, you should be prepared to come in and watch a 3-hour movie. Look, you're paying for a 3-hour, you're paying $18 for a 3-hour movie. Divide that up by 3. That's a good value in my eyes. I don't know what shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can, and that's just the ticket. Now, if you buy popcorn and all that other good stuff, that's on you. But I'm just telling you, that's a good value in my eyes. So, you ain't gonna hear no complaints from me when it comes to movie times. No. Not gonna hear any complaints from me. So next week, obviously, we'll keep following the Mariners. The Mariners are on a nice little winning streak. By next week, it'll be All-Star Weekend. We can talk about the All-Star. I mean, actually, by the time we come on there, the All-Star game will probably be on. So, All-Star game, we got the Home Run Derby the day before, so we'll be talking about that. What's going to happen with this new realignment of the Pac-12? Is Washington, Oregon goners? Are they leaving? Man, it'll be... to all the fans out there, I wanted to let you know, you guys enjoy what you have because this could be all over. And the Pac-12 losing these two teams, it's over, man. We only got a couple more years left And I'm telling you right now, you're probably going to see some of the best college football these next 2 years. Because you know it's our last hurrah. It's over. So appreciate what you got. You Pac-12 fans out there, appreciate what you got. Hey, subscribe, like, share, share it all. We're on all platforms. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Discord. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next week, peace and love. Peace and love.